You want to talk about a bad day at school? Let's talk about bullies. They can actually ruin your life. At least that's the very real feeling of torture, of embarrassment, of the horrible things they do to you and the horrible ways they make you feel. It can make for a seriously bad day at school. Man, there is nothing worse than being picked on by a bully. There is nothing worse than being the target of a bully. Is it important if you date? Do you really need to date? What if you're not dating? But it's just important, right? Everybody dates. That's what you do when you're in high school, even in junior high. That's what you do when you're 16. Everybody is allowed to go on dates when they're 16. It's really important that I go on a date, or is it? I talked to the principal about it. If you haven't watched the episode I did on administration, the administration really is on your side. They really do want to help you out. They're going to want to help you solve this problem. Now, if that isn't an option, the other thing that I would suggest you doing is, for the most part, 9 times out of 10, if not 98 times out of 100, most bad teachers don't really want to be bad teachers. So what are we going to do about that? We're going to try to fit in. We're going to make a choice to not be on the outside looking in. We are actually going to step into the circle to become a part of something. Now, we have to be very careful here because we can make a lot of unhealthy choices in this step. Because there are things we don't want to fit into. We've talked about drugs and alcohol and a lot of stuff that goes on out there that might be easier to fit into because misery loves company. Have you ever heard that? So someone who's doing drugs would love someone else to do drugs with, to take them down with them. Man, you just feel bad about the way you look. You feel overweight. You feel like, you know, all these guys are running around with these great bodies and you kind of got this pear shape as a guy, as a girl. You just feel like your clothes look terrible. No one is ever going to ask you on a date. You just, the way you see yourself, maybe really the way you are, just always makes for a bad day at school. If you're in puberty, girls can actually enter puberty as early as 8. Guys can enter puberty as early as 11. Typically, it's girls 11, guys 13, typically. But you start to sweat more. Glands in your body that weren't working start working, and you start giving off body smells. Social media is not always your friend. It could be a bad thing. I just talked about how, you can just feel real left out. Or worse, it can be really used against you, which brings us to issue number 1. Here's what you're going to realize about social media, guys. It's there forever. You've been around as long as the internet has. Older people, you got to tell them this stuff. You kind of realize it, but you kind of don't. If you do some really lame posts, some heaven forbid, text some picture of you in an uncompromising position or whatever it is, you are doing a really, really bad thing. I don't know how else to say it. Man, don't go there. Just don't do that.